There is a massive pullback in crypto this past week, and many are acting very emotional about it. But why? Well, it's a human problem. When prices pull back, we often go into fight or flight. This often leads us to freeze up and sometimes even makes us feel panic and a huge desire to sell just in case it keeps going down. This is almost always a huge mistake, and it's a big reason why so many do so poorly in investing in general. Now, the number one rule in investing, if you've been around for a long time, you know this, is buy low. And this applies to every type of investing, not just crypto. It applies to real estate, it applies to stocks, oil, anything is buy low. The number two rule is sell high. So when prices tank, is it time to sell or is it time to buy? Well, the answer is self-evident, but it is truly self-evident. If it is so truly self-evident, why do so many do the wrong thing? Well, because it is only self-evident when you step back and think about it from a logical perspective. But when we have actual money on the line, it is so tempting to leave our logical brain entirely and enter our emotional side. And what do our emotions tell us to do? Sell, or even just to freeze up and do nothing. If we step back and enter our logical side, what does that tell us to do? Well, it tells us to buy everything. But is that what we do? Well, most don't. In fact, almost 95% of people don't. And let's talk about why. Now, one of the huge holdups in our own personal growth and our financial growth is uncertainty. Let's think about it. Why is it so many don't take those leaps forward financially or even personally? Uncertainty. Financial freedom, as well as massive personal growth, goes to those who push into uncertainty. Because when you have these massive pullbacks, doesn't it put you into this very uncertain framework? You're feeling the fear, and oh my gosh, what if it goes to zero, which creates uncertainty. But should you really be feeling uncertainty? Well, I don't really like the word should. If we were acting completely logical about it, would we feel uncertainty? Not in this case. When we're feeling that uncertainty, like what kind of uncertainty freezes up our personal growth and development? Well, the uncertainty of what the future holds. But let's think about the crypto space for right now. Because there's this certain type of uncertainty that's really good. Because right now we're entering the space of emotional uncertainty. However, this is a time for well-researched and thoughtful uncertainty because we don't truly know what the future holds. But well-researched and thoughtful uncertainty can lead to massive growth. Right now, we're in this interesting position where the future of crypto has never been more certain. But yet, the market has had massive pullbacks, causing so much emotional and irrational uncertainty. And what do I mean when I say the future of crypto has never been more certain? Well, when I started, the biggest advocate for crypto was John McAfee, who was a very interesting billionaire who had made the case for crypto that it was going to be the biggest deal in the future and that Bitcoin was such a big deal and these other things were such a big deal. And he was really the largest advocate in the world and the most vocal one around the entire crypto space in the world. Now we have a US president and also one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time saying blockchain and crypto are the future. Add on top of that, that the US is lining up positive crypto regulation, which is being worked on. And the future of crypto really has never been more actually certain than it is today. But yet with these price pullbacks, most are treating as if the future is massively uncertain. And yet it isn't. It is massively certain. Now, what is uncertain is which crypto projects will outperform others. But that is where thoughtful, diligent research and then smart action comes into play. So think of this thoughtful uncertainty, because uncertainty often keeps us stuck in exactly the same place and we don't push into this uncertainty. For example, back when I was starting in crypto, there were a lot of people that started in crypto, but when things didn't go the way they wanted, they entered this position of uncertainty and they bowed out from it entirely. Specifically, I came in 2017 and the market was in the middle of a bull run. It was halfway through the bull run. I was there to experience the massive, massive growth that happened in October, November, and December of 2017, which made people feel tons of emotional certainty, but it was just emotional. The people that made the massive gains were the people that had invested way prior to those times, but people were so willing to throw in tons of money there. And then we had massive pullbacks going into 2018, which created tons of emotional uncertainty. Yet, if you were entering a place of thoughtful, well-researched uncertainty, which is, okay, is the future of crypto as uncertain as everyone feels it is now that prices have pulled back tremendously, they might have researched it and realized, oh my gosh, blockchain allows the internet to do things it could not do before. And those specific things that blockchain allows the internet to do are going to create massive improvements in the internet, both in security, but also finance being able to be decentralized and people having more control of their finances, less third parties involved. And so the future was way more certain than people were willing to feel about it because they were just looking at the price. And what's interesting is the prices started to pull back in 2018. They had a bottom in 2019 or 2020, depending on the projects. And so prices were massively low. And if you were researching it deeply, you were entering this place of well-researched and thoughtful uncertainty because you don't know for sure how the future is going to play out. Meteor could strike the Earth tomorrow that we haven't seen, and the telescopes haven't seen, and nobody could wake up tomorrow. So the future isn't certain, but it's rational and reasonable certainty that we're going to wake up tomorrow, or reasonable uncertainty that we're going to wake up tomorrow and everything will be fine. So we do have to be willing to push into uncertainty to have the massive gains. When Google IPO'd in 2000, 2002, somewhere in there, Google had their initial public offering. Was it certain that Google was going to see? No, it wasn't. But they had this new idea. Their search engine was getting massive traction. They had given you email for free through Gmail. So there wasn't certainty there, but it was thoughtful, rational uncertainty would have led you to possibly make the decision to invest in their IPO. Now, a lot of people didn't do the research so that they could make thoughtful, well-researched, uncertain decisions to take that gamble. Well, you're here in the crypto space, and my thought is we have better opportunities now than Google's IPO from way back then, which if you held over the next 15 years, you might have made 500 or 1,000x. There are some projects that are on a fire sale right now that I suggest in the next year to 500 to 1,000x from here. Not a lot of them, a few of them. Some might only do 40x or 50x or 100x in the next 12 months, or maybe even far less than that. Where else have you been in a position like this for such amazing gains? This is the time, this is the place. We are there right now. And this massive fire sale is way more beneficial than most people are realizing. Because how likely is it that crypto pumps in this next year? I would say the odds are extremely high. Bitcoin has realized maybe only half of its gains from this bull run. And the bigger blow off top hasn't come yet. And it will. And when it does, altcoins will run massively from here. But yet we've been given this major discounted fire sale. And most are either selling or they're freezing up entirely in fight or flight mode, not knowing what to do, and frozen. And they're not taking smart, thoughtful actions because, well, they're human and they haven't learned how to step back from that emotional place, look very logical, and take logical, thoughtful action in this uncertainty. Because there's no certainty that crypto is going to pump this next year. The odds are just massively stacked for it, like massively. The kind of odds that if I were at a casino and say the odds were 97% chance on the roulette table, would I put in $10 or would I put all in that I could do without borrowing? I would put all in. And in fact, that's what I've done during this bear market with my crypto space. I've gone all in on it. Why? Because the odds are stacked massively in my favor. Why would I not do that? Now, each of you gets to make that decision for yourself. Yes, you're pushing into uncertainty, and some people just can't do that. That's all right. Crypto is not even for everyone because you have to be able to take thoughtful, rational action pushing into uncertainty, especially when you have these big pullbacks where you're able to buy low, dealing with the uncertainty that, yes, it could go to zero, and the chances are about 0.5% or 2% or 5%, depending on the project, that it will go to zero. But the odds are massively stacked the other way, and yet you have to push into uncertainty to get those kind of gains. And many people just can't do that. Those same people will be jumping in when it feels certain that crypto will continue up for forever. And that won't be a thoughtful, rational action. That will be an emotional decision that it feels certain at a time when it is less certain than ever that crypto will continue up. For example, when crypto, if Bitcoin hits, say, 500,000, is that time to sell or time to be buying if it hits that somehow in the next year? It'll feel like it will continue going up for forever. It will feel way more certain than it is. It will actually be an extremely uncertain time, that the odds of it massively pulling back from there will be like 98%. And yet people will feel like they're getting into a place where certainty is high and they're just unaware of how it's quite the opposite. Right now, it feels extremely uncertain that the future of crypto, but it is more certain than it's ever been. But you have to be able to push into uncertainty, and many people just won't be able to do that. So the gains will never go to them. The gains will go to those who can take those kinds of actions. We are live here, so Bill Gardner jumping in saying, first, thoughts on Bumper, thinking about grabbing more at these incredible prices. They are incredible prices. Yeah, so the uncertainty with Bumper is, do they have enough runway to survive into the bull market? I think they do. As of what they told me like 10 months ago, they should have at least 14 months more of runway. And that's if they're not able to borrow more at that point. That's plenty of time that they should make it until the coming bull run. And I say should because I don't know if their finances are exactly the same as they were then. They have 14 months left of runway, but they should. And if they can make it till DeFi runs again, I do think Bumper has one of the most innovative ideas in DeFi, period. And could garnish a market cap of 500 million, a billion, 2 billion, maybe even 10 billion. And yet their market cap is punishingly low right now. So if they survive, massive, massive gains ahead. And if they don't, well, that is the risk. Like even if you're taking a 90 to 10 chance, 90% chance that you win, 10% chance you lose, sometimes that 10% chance will happen. The odds on Bumper are much better than the 50-50 you're taking at the roulette table. And your upside is much, much higher. So I like Bumper. Do I stack Illuvium? I have a bunch of Illuvium. I've not been stacking more of it because I don't have more liquidity right now. But the price on Illuvium has not been this good since like 2020 or something. Maybe early 2021. The price on Illuvium's token is ridiculously good and massively underpriced in my opinion. Yeah, VV Wells gets it. Yeah. Honestly, I was hoping this happened. LFG, right? That is the way to look at it. Now, a lot of what I have on this channel is teaching people how to be savage investors. And savage investors can take their emotions and you still listen to them and feel them. You just don't do what they're telling you to do. So when you listen, you hear them. That doesn't mean you take the actions that your emotions tell you to do. And don't turn off those emotions because they're actual flags that you can use to counter trade what your emotions tell you to do. Because when your emotions go crazy, that actually is a signal that it might be time to take action. It might be time to take the opposite of action from what your emotions are telling you to do. In fact, that's the clue, to take the exact opposite. So if you're in something and you're feeling the panic to sell because it drops way, way down, first thing you do is you step in and you analyze, okay, what is the likelihood that the project survive from here? What can I find out about how much runway they have? Are they closing their doors right now? Like, are they actually? I know people are saying that and they're scared to death, but looking from a logical standpoint, are they going to fail here? And if in your determination, there are chances that, nope, they still have plenty of runway and they should have enough runway to make it into the bull market, then it might be actual buy time. So you're panicking, feeling like you need to sell because, say, the price on something dropped 80%, you're freaking out. You first do step one. Then step two is, okay, what is the risk to reward? So what is the risk that they fell from here? And what is the potential reward if they don't? So bumper's an amazing example of this. The price is devastatingly cheap. I bought $50,000 more bumper, like 4 months ago, and the price on that is down 90% or more from what I paid for. Cool. So that means for about $3,500, $4,000, I can buy as much bumper as I bought 4 months ago for $50,000. Cool. What are the chances that bumper can survive from here? I'd say decent. Not as good as some other projects, but the upside return, if they went to $1 billion market cap, you realize the upside potential on that is like 1,000x. They went to a $10 billion market cap, they'll be one of the biggest gainers in the bull run, period. If they fail, they fail. So let's say the odds are 50-50, that 50% chance they don't survive until the DeFi narrative runs. But if they do survive, the gains are 50x to 2000x. Okay, would you take that? People play roulette all the time, and roulette, their odds are just under 50% chance that they win. And if they win, they double their money. And if they lose, they lose. And people play that all the time, and they call that fun. I call it fun when you're taking a lopsided bet like this, say 50% chance they don't survive and 50% chance they do. But if they do, you don't just double your money. You make a 50x gain or 100x gain or 1,000x gain. That's way funner than roulette. You want to know why I don't gamble? It's because the odds are just so bad compared to what the odds can be in something like this. Now, their odds of surviving might be higher than 50%. And we'll see what the returns end up being. But I do like bumper. It isn't something that I would throw all my money in at these prices because, you know, even if it was only a 40% chance to fail from here or 25% chance to fail, just don't go all in on one thing because you don't need to. And it's actually smarter if you don't, because if you spread out among a number of things, sometimes certain things run and other things don't. And it does allow you to roll your investment. So say Devi is one of the big projects I have a lot of money in, and say Devi goes 100x from here. And I think Devi could have 1,000x potential from here, but say it goes 100x from here. So then I harvest some gains from Devi and I roll that into something else that does a 50x, or say even just a 40x from there. So what did I make? I made 4,000x gains on that money. Why? Because I diversified. And then I was able to realize some of the gains and push into another uncertainty situation where I had researched and felt like there was strong chance that that narrative would later hit, and compound some massive gains there. I like that they are making things happen behind the curtains, but like that they did not say anything that would have skyrocketed it. Are you talking about Illuvium, or which project are you talking about, VB Wheels? So this was the topic I wanted to bring to you today and just talk about while the market's down. Don't let your emotions dictate your investing. And the more experience you have doing this, the easier it will be to override what your emotions are telling you to do and to take the opposite approach. But for many of you, this will be your first bull market that you're prepared for. You're going to learn some amazing lessons, and you've actually learned some amazing lessons during this bear market. Fact number one is that you're still here. That's incredible because 90% of people aren't. They washed out and they're going to miss out from the potential rewards. Some people think being around during the bull run is the most exciting time to be here. Yes, but it's only the most exciting time to be here if you were dollar cost averaging during bear market lows. And still some prices have hit, like blockchain gaming is at almost bear market lows. A few things are almost at bear market lows, especially with this pullback. Prices are so savagely good. And yet you're going to see 90% of people not buying in this opportunity. Some of them will even be selling. Maybe even 95% of people not buying during this. But the savage 5%, which is what I dedicated this channel to teach you to become part of, is that savage 5%. They are buying during this and they're making thoughtful research decisions on what to buy. Now, if you're part of my private Discord, you were able to catch a video with Austin from Debbie today. Hope you were able to see that. If not, in the private Discord, you can click on that video is recorded. You don't get the link to it from my regular YouTube channel. You have to be part of that Discord to be able to see it. This is something that private audience gets access to. And sometimes I have big channels or big projects come on and talk to you on my public YouTube channel. And sometimes we have these private chats. If you haven't joined the private Discord, the way you join it is you sign up in the link for Patreon below. It allows you to connect up your Discord to the Patreon. You have to be a member of the Patreon. We don't actually use Patreon other than the gatekeeper for the Discord. And if you discontinue your Patreon, it discontinues your access to the Discord is how it works. But it's basically the gatekeeper. And we put that gate there because we get better conversations when people have to pay for it. So the free Telegram group, like most of us don't use anymore. Why? Because anyone can join it. Because anyone can join it. You get some really dumb discussions. You put some kind of paywall, even though the paywall is ridiculously low, and almost no scammers join. Like all of the people that are not here to become savage crypto investors don't join. So your level of discussion with serious people goes way, way, way up. And I suspected that would happen if we created that. That is exactly what happened. And actually, we found some added things, some added benefits I can sometimes add to you. For those that are in there, you'll know that there's way more added benefit than I publicly talk about. So I know if you're in there, you're enjoying some extra benefits that come along once in a while that you're not hearing about here, but you get to enjoy there. Right. That's a lot of what I wanted to share today. If you have any further questions, hit me up real quick. Otherwise, we'll wrap up this video with the Rainmaker wrap. Guys, it's an amazing time. The future of crypto has never been more certain than it is right now. And it may feel uncertain. That's a good thing because there wouldn't be so much gains if so many people didn't act emotionally. So many are selling into this because they're fearful. And those 5% of savages, the ones that make the kind of money that everyone else wishes they'd make, well, they're the ones that push into that uncertainty through thoughtful, smart decisions. Man, Rain, you have balls of steel. Even with this fear in the market, you're still in the move. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is an amazing time. And, you know, I was able to make these kind of actions last bear market too, because I had been through cycle investing for almost 20 years. So I'm just not new to this. Many of you are new to this. It's especially hard the first time, which is why I want to put out a video on this, which is why if you haven't subscribed to the channel, like, what are you doing? If you haven't subscribed to it, maybe this isn't for you, because many people just don't think right to make this happen. Those that resonate with this message either already think right or they're willing to think right. And that's just not everyone. And that's okay. This isn't meant for everyone. If this doesn't resonate with you on some level, it's probably not for you, because you do have to be willing to go against the grain and go against the crowd. And you know what? There's a certain percentage of people that just cannot do that. And they will get wrecked in crypto investing. This channel won't help them because theoretically it'll make sense to them. They won't be able to take those actions. And so they will end up as the part of 90% that just doesn't make money doing this. And I don't want that to be you, but it's up to you to be taking the right actions at the right time. And remember that principle: buy low, sell high. Remember also, when your emotions are telling you to sell, it might just be buy time, but you need to do further research just to see. And if your emotions are telling you to buy more, it might just be take profits time and not buy more. V says, I'm fed up with this manipulation. It can be emotionally taxing. You become more numb to it over time. But if you let prices worry you without your bigger vision on, I'm just waiting for the blow off top when everybody's talking about crypto, and that will finally be sell time. It doesn't matter in the short term if prices are up and down. I'm looking for that massive time when everyone seems to be getting crypto, and that's sell time. Short of that period, I only ask myself the question of, is it time to buy more? And making sure that the company that you're invested in is not showing real signs that it's closing the doors. Like a real sign that something was closing the doors was an announcement like 2 months ago that Meld was shutting down operations. That is a sell signal. Why? Because it's closing down operations, essentially dead. So that's pretty much the only time I sell. A lot of my position, I take thoughtful positions, and then it's ride or die. It's like I buy during the bear market and I let it ride its way out, which could mean till its death or till its ultimate survival. And unless I see some kind of signal that they really are about to shut their doors, and then sometimes I can harvest a little bit of that, throw it into something else good, but I do almost never sell until that crazy period starts going on. And then I'll sometimes roll the money. But don't roll the money for too long, because it's not going to keep cascading. At some point, what goes massively up does come down, and you want to get burned from that. Thanks for your knowledge and time, Rain. I haven't sold all me because of you. Let's effing G. Yes. Omi's going to be one of the big gainers this coming bull market. You'll see. Thank you, guys. Enjoy this wrap. We'll see y'all soon.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit right before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I take the one out cause I'm patient like that, and I'll wait for the right time. I'll sell when it's high, I'll buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't leave with my heart. The principles are simple, to leave in a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, but time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Sticking out this wrong, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crafting. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I'll follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love, and I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.